Your cell phone company would never offer you free flowers for a survey. It's War of the Roses on KDWB.
Listen to how Tessa got burnt on her very first boyfriend ever. And now you'll understand why she's paranoid about other relationships.
Okay.
Good morning, Tessa.
Hi, good morning.
Morning. Tell me about your first boyfriend ever and what happened.
All right. Well, so I was dating this guy for like 6 months, and we were hanging out on, White Bear Lake, and his 8-month pregnant girlfriend showed up and cussed us out. And
wait a second. So his 8-month pregnant girlfriend that you didn't know about shows up. Are you sitting on the beach, or are you at a picnic table, or where are you when this happens?
Really laying out on the beach.
Okay. So how'd she find you? Did she just stumble across you, or did she find you somehow?
She found us somehow. Like, I don't know how she did, but,
Locations on your phone.
I can
don't
kind of
know.
relate to her a little bit. Like,
Okay.
It's my own situation here.
So she comes up to you and she's like, "What the hell are you doing? You know that I'm pregnant. Did you even tell her you have a..." So what happens? I mean, it doesn't really matter. So you're done with this guy. You're done. And and now you say you haven't had a whole lot of relationship experiences. I mean, you've had a boyfriend like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. So I've only had 3 boyfriends.
Okay.
So I'm on my 3rd.
Okay, you're on your 3rd.
Okay.
So tell me, what's the problem with the boyfriend you're seeing right now? Why are you on War of the Roses?
The storm over the weekend,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So it caused him to lose power at his house, and he needs Wi-Fi in order to do his job. And, of course, there was no Wi-Fi at his house, so he said, "Oh, I have to go to my parents' house." And I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense." And so, me being skeptical because of that, previous relationship with the 8-month pregnant girlfriend showing up, I get kind of paranoid now. And so I was just driving back from work, and I just was not stopping by, but kind of just driving by his parents' house because he said he was going to be there.
Okay.
And it's a little bit out of the way, but I was like, oh, it's kind of on the way. I can just drive by and just see if he's there. And I drive by, and I don't see his car. And so I text him like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm just watching a movie with my dad." And then he sent a picture of him and his dad. And, okay, don't think I'm crazy. But anyways, I zoomed in, and I saw the clock behind them, and it said the wrong time, from when he sent it. So 2 different times, okay?
Okay.
And
so you think that he might have, taken an old picture that was in his phone and said, "Oh, look, here's me and Dad watching TV," when you know that he wasn't home?
Yeah, that's what I think.
Okay. How long, well, let me ask you this one. How long after you drove by did he send you the picture?
Within 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Usually.
So it's possible. I watch a lot of Dateline, Janie.
Yes.
So it's possible that his window of opportunity might have allowed him to get back home, sit down on the couch with Dad to send a photo in that window of opportunity of 5 minutes. But it doesn't explain why the clock in the background has the wrong time on it.
And you don't think that his car could have been in a garage or something?
No, because I know his parents' garage, and it's filled with so much crap. So.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
All right. So you think that he might have been up to something. You just want to find out whether you're being played again, that maybe he never even went to Mom and Dad's house, that maybe he's hanging out with somebody else and used the power outage as an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's dirty. All right. What we can do is we can call Jake and pretend that we're with his phone carrier, whatever, and then say, "Hey, if you do this survey, we'll send the dozen roses to whoever you want to, and we will find out what name he wants to send those to, and hopefully he'll choose you, and there's nothing going on." But people get busted every week on War of the Roses, so if there's a way to find out, this is probably the way to do it. So we'll see what he says. Then we'll talk to Jonathan Fogel, family attorney, to get his take on the entire War of the Roses and let you know how to contact Jonathan. We'll do that coming up next on part 2. Stay here on KDWB. Let's call him. Let's offer him the free roses and see who he sends the roses to. Then we'll talk to Jonathan Fogel.
That's all the time I needed from you today, Jake. And now I'm going to get those dozen romantic red roses sent out to whoever you'd like. So if you can just give me the name of who you'd like to send it to, we'll get those on their way.
Yeah. This is really cool. I will absolutely send these to my girlfriend, Tessa.
Got it down. Perfect.
Well, that's good news.
Yes. Super good.
Let me explain how you kind of been blindsided, but I think you're going to be okay here. Everything you just heard in the last couple of minutes it was a farce. It was a lie. You kind of been bamboozled a little bit. Let me explain. We were putting you to the test, Jake. Do you have any idea why we would put you to the test? The test is to see who you would send roses to.
Oh. This is a little weird and surprising, but I assume Tessa is the one who put you guys.
Yeah, Tessa is, well, we and I have to explain this one too. We are not with your bank or your phone company because banks and phone companies don't usually do tests like this. We're a radio station. We're KWB. So just a couple of DJs calling to put you on the radio to see who you'd send roses to. But yeah, Tessa's listening on the other phone because she is a little paranoid. And Tessa, do you want to explain to Jake why you were a little bit paranoid?
Okay. Hey, Ben.
Hi.
So, yeah, the reason why I'm paranoid is because, like, the clock didn't match up with the time when you texted me that picture of you and your dad.
Yeah, she told us about how she said she drove by your house when you were over at Mom and Dad's house because of the storms. And you weren't there. There was no car in the yard. She's like, where are you? You remember this. It was just like 2 days ago. Where are you? And you're like, oh, I'm here watching a movie with my dad. You sent her a picture. The problem with the picture is the clock in the background did not show the proper time.
Okay. First of all, hey, Tess, if you were in the neighborhood, really wouldn't have minded if you just, stopped by and said hi. The reason that the clock, I assume you mean the grandfather clock in that picture?
Yeah, the one, the old one you guys have.
Yeah, so that grandfather clock hasn't worked in maybe longer since than I've been alive. Like, that grandfather clock was my grandfather's clock. It chimes every 15 minutes, and you have to set it every single day to keep it. So we just haven't touched it, and it's been set on 2:30 p.m. since 1998.
Okay.
Wow, okay.
So, and I get that because a grandfather clock, you got to pull the chains and they go bong, bong.
Yeah.
Okay. So you don't set it. Okay.
Well, I mean, then, where was your car?
Is that why you didn't stop by? You didn't see my car? I
didn't see your car.
Yeah, I went down to Dairy Queen and did blizzards for my dad and me before we watched that movie.
Oh, what flavor blizzards did you get?
I'm a cherry cheesesteak guy myself. My dad's more of a boring Oreo man.
Okay, so he did have answers right away.
Yeah.
Because I did that deliberately to see whether he came up with the answers right away.
Smart.
And he didn't go, because you would know the flavor of blizzard. Cherry cheesecake is a blizzard flavor?
Sometimes they have it as something you can just ask for, but I do sort of a combination where I ask for cheesecake pieces, and they have sort of a cherries jubilee.
Listen to you. Listen to you. You are like a blizzard expert, and I'm going to guess it depends on whether you go to the White Bear Lake Dairy Queen or the Chanhassen Dairy Queen. Okay, so do you feel satisfied that everything is cool? Because she'd been very paranoid with the old boyfriend.
And listen, I'm not upset that I've been tested. I'm obviously happy I passed, but I get it. I know all about Neil and what he did to you, and I can't imagine how paranoid I would be if something like that were to happen to me. So I get it. I'll be as patient as you need me to be while you sort of go through all this. And I don't know how much time it'll take, but I just want to prove to you, Tess, that I would never do anything like that to you. Matter of fact, I assume you guys aren't actually going to send her flowers for me.
No.
Oh, hell no.
Those aren't part of it. No.
Oh, okay. Well, tell you what, Tessa, how about I see you later tonight and I'll bring some flowers that I'll get myself.
Look at
nice.
this.
Dang.
Tessa, how are you feeling?
I feel bad because, yeah. Oh my
Hey,
gosh,
you
I just
have
feel really bad.
nothing to feel bad about. Okay, like honestly, if this helps moving forward, you feel better about me and trust me more, then I'm happy you did this.
What a patient guy. I mean, there's a lot of people who would not, and there's been a lot of people who are not that patient and understanding on War of the Roses. This guy is either cheating and charming, and that's a new term I just coined.
Cheating and charming.
Cheating and charming, or he's telling the truth.
Yeah.
One or the
I
other.
feel like I believe him. I
Do
don't
you believe him?
normally believe the people on this, but I believe
Yeah?
him.
You believe in this time?
Yeah.
I mean, the whole Blizzard thing, that was like, he knew exactly which Blizzard he got.
You're right.
So he
You
had
can't
to
just
have
believe-
gotten it.
'cause he-
Yeah, but
you know,
everyone has a favorite. So I don't know if that sold me. I just think he did sound genuine. Like, I know what Blizzard I get.
You know, we have a trial attorney on the phone here who is actually could qualify to be a judge, a circuit court judge, and you can tell when somebody's lying because you've got an ear for this, Jonathan. Do you think that he's telling the truth?
That guy was the biggest liar.
What?
He had his answers were way too ready, way too rehearsed. He would have stammered a little bit, I think.
Really interesting. Okay, this is why
I'm like a human lie detector.
You're a human lie detector. You would not want to be Jonathan's kids or partner. Where did you $500? Where did we miss $500? I don't know. I think the dog ate it. Jonathan Fogel, welcome to the show. Thanks for being on. I want to ask you a question right off the bat. Jonathan Fogel, family attorney. We always talk to him after War of the Roses, get some advice. Is about the worst divorce situation one when the husband gets another woman pregnant? Is that about as ugly as it gets?
Well, that's pretty bad. I've seen people bring their pregnant new girlfriend to the courtroom for a trial.
Wow.
Jeez.
So they're getting
Terrible.
so they get a divorce, they're divorcing, they come to the hearing with their pregnant new girlfriend.
Yes, they want to have her as a witness and bring the girlfriend. And I've had one that showed up with the pregnant girlfriend. I was representing the wife. I'm like, what is going on? This is ridiculous.
Wow.
Yeah, nobody was very happy about it.
I am sure. So listening to War of the Roses this week, what is your takeaway that we can learn something from?
Well, I want to talk, so back to the pregnancy thing, right? Yeah. This guy, they talked about that the ex-boyfriend she had, his ex-girlfriend shows up to the beach pregnant, right? Mm-hmm. So a lot of people have kids. They're not married. Totally fine. But you have to recognize that the law protects people that are married when it comes to having kids. So if you have kids and you're married, there's a presumption of parentage for the dad.
Sure.
But not so when you have a child when you're not married. So what that means is that the mom automatically has sole legal, sole physical custody. Dad really has no rights at all when that child is born.
So what can the dad do to get those rights if you're not married and you have a kid?
Yeah, so at the hospital, in most states, for sure in Minnesota, they have what's called a recognition of parentage document that both parties can sign at the hospital. And by signing that, if both parties sign it, it basically establishes dad as the legal father without having to go through blood tests or anything like that. It also gives the right for dad to ask for parenting time and custody. It gives him the right to put the child on their insurance. And if mom at some point said, hey, you can't see your child, I'm going to put him up for adoption or her up for adoption, there's a registry that you are notified automatically.
Okay,
So
gotcha. So you
there
couldn't
are
be
states-
surprised.
That's right. That's
Okay.
right.
Okay, so has it ever happened where, and I'm sure it has, where somebody will sign the document of parenthood, and they both sign it, then later the guy finds out it's not his, or she says it was never yours to begin with?
Yes, that does happen. That does happen. And so there are laws that talk about how long you have until after you sign a recognition of parentage to revoke that recognition of parentage or challenge it. If you find out later that you are not the father, that somebody else comes forward with a blood test that shows that they're the father, you do have a certain window, depending on the circumstances, to reverse that recognition of parentage.
So many interesting things. This is why you need an attorney when you're going through a divorce or custody or child support or visitation or anything like that, and things are getting a little bit dicey and maybe the other person's not cooperating, or you find it difficult, or maybe there's a new spouse. Sometimes the new spouse or boyfriend gets to be troublesome. Talk to an attorney. Talk to the attorney. Did you know every other divorce attorney left for Wisconsin?
They all left?
They all left because Fogel's so good.
Oh, well.
Fogel's so good. They
Works
don't
out
want
for Fogel.
It works out for Fogel. So if you want to get a hold of the divorce attorney in Minnesota, go to FogelFamilyLaw.com, Fogel, FogelFamilyLaw.com, or call the bat phone at this number.
You got it, 612-822-6244.
Thank you, Jonathan. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.
All right, you guys take care.
All right, you bet.